We're here to decode the terms, hashtags, casual slang you'll see in the online art community, especially on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. This is the entry-level vocabulary that will not just help you understand the online art community, but make it accessible for everybody. Because recently on Instagram, I saw someone post an OC challenge, and I didn't know what OC stood for. So I did what we all do. I went to the comments to see if anyone else was as confused as I was, see if someone else asked, hey, what does this mean? You know, so I could feel a little less alone in my ignorance. But no one asked. Not a single person was as confused as me. Everybody just knew what this meant. And in that moment, I felt ancient, like hello fellow kids levels of out of touch. But I refuse to believe that I'm the only one that's ever been confused by the online art community's jargon. And honestly, if I didn't know that one, what other terms am I just scrolling past completely missing the meaning of? And which ones do you need decoded? So we're gonna start with the simplest terms that you'll often see on social media. The first one is DTIYS. That means draw this in your style. So what that often means is that an artist will post an illustration that they are intending for someone to copy and put their own spin on it and draw it in their own style. OC just means original character or like original content. And I feel so silly not knowing that. And ever since I was confused by that one, I've seen it all over the place. Like, how did I not notice this one before? I don't know. WIP or WIP means work in progress, and a common one is hashtag WIP Wednesday, so you'll see that one often. The next one I love, and it's dump, or a sketch dump or an art dump. What it means is just a bunch of sketches or drawings or illustrations that are posted together. They can be messy sketches or random drawings posted all at once, and they're put in one big carousel post. An art challenge is just a themed event, and there's usually no actual competition. It's just doing it. The challenge is doing it. A very popular one is Inktober, but there's always art challenges going on. You can just search for art challenge and you can always find one to participate in and connect with other artists during. A prompt list is just a list of drawing ideas. I share a monthly drawing prompt list to my free members on my Patreon, for example. An art collab is just a joint project between two artists. An art trade is when two artists create art for each other. Speedpaint or speed drawing can be a time lapse of the drawing process, but it's also a popular game on Roblox, and artists like to share this on their art channels. There's a redraw, and it's also called a glow up. It's redrawing an old piece to show improvement or just how much your art style has evolved. A sketchbook tour is flipping through your sketchbook and showcasing your sketches. This is kind of like an art dump, but it's specifically based around someone's sketchbook. Adoptable art is a pre-made OC design that you can either purchase or win. And see, I can already use OC in a sentence and I'm learning so much. Hashtag FYP or hashtag art FYP. It's just a hashtag that artists use when posting their art on TikTok. I've noticed it mostly on TikTok, and it's just in the hopes that the algorithm will pick this up and show it to you. Now let's talk about the biggest layer of confusion for people like me, old. And that's internet slang. Not just TikTok slang, but the interesting little phrases that are showing up everywhere in captions, character descriptions, and especially in the comments. If you're an old lady like me, you probably need some clarity on some of these terms. But if you are younger than me or young enough to be one of my kids, please pay attention, because I know you're gonna find something to correct me on, because my kids are always correcting me or let me know what I missed. I'm constantly being corrected by my teens. It's so annoying, but I guess I just never knew how wrong I was all the time. And by the way, I am skipping all of the less than family friendly slang. If you know, you know, and if you don't, just leave it that way. So let's break down some of the most common internet slang that's leaked into the art world and what they actually mean. A curse drawing is a weird or unintentionally bad or funny drawing. A lot of examples online are borderline entering a realm of the internet I'm not a part of, so I'll just share this weird Mike Wazowski example. My kids have this one on their phones. Art block, it's not really internet slang, but it's something that I see posted a lot on TikTok and YouTube shorts, and it's just not knowing what to draw. We've all been there. This one's pretty common, and you probably knew this one. A comfort character is a character that you draw or illustrate that gives you emotional comfort. Low effort just means it was quick and simple and wasn't meant to look polished. Yassify means to glam up something to an absurd degree. Think lashes, lip gloss, sparkle overload. This is done a lot in the cartoon and fantasy art. To serve or serving is doing something really well. To slay is to succeed hard. This can be sincere or ironic. It's giving is used to describe like a vibe. or to say that an art piece or an outfit is representative of a well-known style or an iconic piece of art. Main character energy is a character design that feels iconic, or confident, or like the star of the show. A Canon event is a moment that feels essential to a character's story. Core, or adding core to the end of the word, is a suffix used to label an aesthetic, like cottagecore, goblin core, dream core, anything can be a core. Delulu is short for delusional, and it's used a lot of times self-mockingly, or it can even be used to call someone out in the comments. Calling your illustration a silly little whatever, like a silly little thing, is just an ironic way to downplay your obsession with drawing a certain subject. So that's as far as I'm going to take it with the internet slang. Those are the ones you're going to see the most. I know there's way more, and I'm not going to get into Gen Z slang because this is not what this is about. This is specifically to the art community online. But before we move on, can we take just a little moment to talk about the word procreate? And I'm not talking about the biological kind, because procreate used to be just about producing children. I know this is weird, but now it's about producing art. It's professional level art software that manages to feel really beginner friendly, and it's a huge part of the online art scene. And it's the program that I use most, and no, I am not sponsored. So if you ever hear an artist say something like, "I'm new to Procreate," they mean the art software. There, I said it. So now that we've cleared that up, and no, you're not in trouble if you've ever had to look up Procreate. But to round this out and make it feel like a complete guide to art community jargon, let's talk about some of the common terms that you'll see like in tutorials, especially the digital artists that use Procreate and Photoshop. And we're not going full art theory here. It's more about when you hear words like clipping mask and blending mode and stuff like that. But it's not at all a complete list. Line art are the clean outlines of a drawing. Flat colors are solid base colors with no shading. Rendering is polishing and adding lighting, shading, and realism or depth. The lasso tool is a selection tool used to isolate parts of an image. Blending modes are layers that interact with the colors in the layers below them, such as multiply and screen, etc. A layer mask is a way to hide parts of a layer non-destructively. Alpha lock locks a layer so you can only draw on existing pixels, and it's great for shading. Clipping mask lets you apply color shading to a layer that only appears where the layer below is drawn. A reference layer in Procreate is a layer that is used as a guide for filling color on other layers. A brush set is a collection of digital brushes for a specific style or medium. Canvas size and DPI is the resolution and physical size of your digital file. Color drop is dragging a color into a shape to autofill it, and the liquify tool allows you to warp and nudge parts of your drawing. So did I miss any? Go ahead and drop your favorite confusing art terms in the comments below, and let's figure it all out together. And please, please tell me if there's anything else that I need to know as an elder millennial that shares their art on social media. I'm sure there are tons more that I need to know. But for now, I hope this has helped some of you that are like me, that now have the vocabulary to confidently scroll in social media and not feel like you need a translator, and maybe make the art community a lot more accessible and a lot more fun. And if you'd like to decode more secrets of the art community, click on this video here called Procreate Hacks That No One Talks About That You Need to Know. Because there's a lot more helpful stuff that no one's telling you, but I am, so I'll see you there.